Excellent. Well, welcome everyone to this second session of Tech Titans. We have a lot of our students on, some of our team also on the call, and we have Sreekanth Koganti for here on the call today to discuss and advise to the students and talk about his career path and talk about what students should think of as they're looking to kind of join the workforce and going from college to industry, right? All right, so this is the brief agenda. We'll talk just a couple of minutes about bitLabs, and then we'll do a quick intro for Sreekanth, and then we'll get into some Q&A. The good thing about this particular presentation is we have two students, Sai Krishna and Govardhan, who both of them are our BitLab students, and they are on the call today, and they're going to, on behalf of all our other learners, they've put together a bunch of questions, and they are going to ask those questions to Sreekanth. So I'm looking forward to that, really. Okay, so some ground rules, everyone. Because this is sort of being all done online, please, make sure you pay attention. Okay, ask questions, but when you ask them, make sure you just type them into the chat, and we'll pick your questions up at the end. Okay. Also, throughout this session, please stay on mute except for the ones that are speaking. That is Sreekanth, myself, Rupa, and Govardhan and Sai Krishna. Except for those guys, please stay on mute. Okay. Looks like there are some other people in the lobby, Rupa. So you may have to admit, or maybe you already did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We will quickly look at a very short video, and then we'll jump into the rest of the presentation. Okay, I think this explains what we are about. So we'll just go through that. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we do.
2013 टू 17 बैच का हूँ, जिसमें 2017 में मैं पास आउट हुआ। मेरा नाम नीरज कुमार है। प्लेसमेंट में काफ़ी दिक्कत आती थी, जो कि टॉप 50 में मेरे कॉलेज आते हैं। मतलब 34 रैंक रहता है, ऑल ओवर इंडिया रैंक 34, 36 ऐसे रैंक है, और राजस्थान के सेकेंड नंबर का कॉलेज है। मेरे पढ़ाई के चक्कर में लगभग काफ़ी सारा ज़मीन बिक चुका है। एक तो गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज होने के कारण प्लेसमेंट कम आती थी, क्योंकि उतना रिस्पॉन्सिबल नहीं रहता था। सर लोग हुआ तो हुआ, ठीक है, नहीं तो कोई बात नहीं। एक बार हुआ था, जैसे होंडा कंपनी आई थी, उसको कई राउंड लगा दिया गया था। तो 2010 से के बाद कभी होंडा ही कंपनी नहीं आई थी। लाइब्रेरी ज्वाइन कर रखा था नाइट शिफ्ट में, तो उसमें होता था क्या, मैं 9 से 7 बजे तक था। नाइट में 9 बजे, सुबह 7 बजे तक मैं लाइब्रेरी में रहता था। काफ़ी सारा प्रेशर आने के बाद मेरे पापा जी यहाँ तक बोल दिए थे कि यदि जॉब नहीं करेंगे तो हम सुसाइड कर लेंगे।
In 2003, the U.R. Rao panel warned the government about the excess supply of engineers. In 2005, a report by McKinsey said that only 25% of engineers in India are employable. Remaining 75% were not employable. In 2017, a report by Aspiring Minds claimed that 95% of Indian engineers are unfit for software related jobs.
कोई भी कंपनी कॉलेज में नहीं आई आउटसाइड द कॉलेज देयर वेर ओनली वी कैन दे वेर कॉलिंग पीपल ओनली ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ रेफरेंसेस इट इज ऑब्वियस कि निराशा तो होती है एंड व्हाट वी विल डू all for it is only get anyhow any job we are well mentally prepared to even do a D grade jobs. So
And what do you mean by these D grade jobs? क्या है ये?
it is like peons.
Industry requirement is not very high. So when you look at coding, they are looking at a person who can write 10 to 15 lines of code for a given programming problem in the language of his or her choice. But unfortunately, our engineering colleges are not even able to prepare students to that level. So my question again generally is that if these people can't write 15 lines of code, how did they pass the college exam? And the problem there is that the college exam is not well set up. It is theory and rote learning based, which needs to be changed. And the second is we need to improve the quality of faculty.
मेरा सबसे ज़्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबल फैक्टर रहा मेरी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स को मैं मानूंगी
ITSCS ब्रांच से जिन्होंने बीटेक किया है, हालांकि वो कंप्यूटर के अच्छा नॉलेज रखते होंगे, फिर भी उनको भी चाहिए CCC का सर्टिफिकेट।
एक्चुअली बात ये है ना, हम वैसे फैमिली से बैकग्राउंड नहीं करते कि और कोर्स कर सकें।
Okay. Hopefully that was pretty self-evident, right? What we are trying to do is solve that exact problem. So I'm not gonna go any further. I think a lot of the people already in the call already know what we're trying to do. So I'm gonna skip this slide and now talk about Sreekanth. So I'm gonna talk a little bit, Sreekanth, then you can jump in. Um, I know Sreekanth, like, all the way back to my first year of BTech. This is almost 25 years ago, 26 years ago, I should say. Um, and we have uh, studied throughout BTech, as well as he came to the US along with me. We were in two different cities, but we were in the US at about approximately the same time. And then he moved on to kind of start and lead a lot of these entrepreneurial activities. He's a very entrepreneurial guy. And one of the things I really like about Sreekanth, and I think something that every one of us can learn, is that Sreekanth is very entrepreneurial, and he's an initiative taker. He is a risk taker also, right? Whether it comes to like arranging our industrial tour in the third year, or resolving issues in college, or going out and establishing these schools and growing and scaling. Sreekanth is very outgoing and very a risk taker, if I should say, right? I think that's something that every one of us should do. Sometimes we are all too comfortable in our comfort zone. Yeah, we know certain things, and then we do them well, and then we stick to them. But Sreekanth is different from that perspective, and I really like that about Sreekanth. And not only that, he was also very outgoing and he very risk taking, even when it came to talking to girls in our class. So that was also something that I really appreciated from Sreekanth. But okay, so Sreekanth, I'll let you talk. I mean, it's Sreekanth. By the way, I forgot to mention he has won a ton of awards. You'll see that later. In As he was establishing and running the schools, he has along the way has been recognized not once, not twice, but almost tens of times in many events for his work that he has been doing in improving education for K to 12. You know, in many occasions. So, Shrikant, I don't know if I missed
Yeah.
anything. I'll let you. I'll let
Nothing.
you talk.
Nothing. It's. I guess it's more than enough. And
Okay,
thanks for.
good.
I mean, like, I was just recalling the industrial tour as you are telling. Rest of what you told is, of course, a normal thing which I have been hearing in any of my talks, and something related to our industrial touring, and then talking with the guys. Something. Thanks for
brings brings good
reminding me
memories,
of
right?
those good times. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. Excellent. Thanks, Shrikant. All right. This is a quick video of your schools and the work that you're doing. So we'll watch this really quickly.
Yeah. There should be a 1 minute video. I think this is the 4 minute.
Oh, okay,
But
okay,
we
that's
have.
fine. We'll pause and maybe we'll skip some of the video here. Awesome. That was pretty neat. I really loved the focus on all-round skills there, Srikant.
Yep.
Okay, now I'll let you talk a little bit about some of your awesome, exploits that you've done along the way in your career. Maybe there is maybe one or two that you'd like to highlight in this.
Everything is and like some of them are awards for the school and self, but yeah, I like one. If you have seen a group photo that's at the Google headquarters in Delhi, so where I get to meet. I mean, I constantly attend many conferences, anything related to education, just for like enhancing our knowledge. So that's something which is which brought a lot of key takeaways from that meeting. And then I guess, yeah, there's one on the top. The second one that's at University of London, just before the COVID. I mean, 2 years back. Yes, and of course, when I talk about sports, you can see Sindhu and then me cycling. I have done 400. I think you have found my 200 kilometers brevet ride picture. I have done 300 and 400 as well. So everything is pretty good. And the last bottom right is the latest one, just celebrating by cutting a cake with the hockey players from the state in my school that you have just seen the video. So since we have an AstroTurf court that the hockey players can play this to celebrate the bronze medal that the Indian hockey team has won at the recent Tokyo Olympics.
Oh wow, that's really neat. 400 kilometers, man. That's something. Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm planning my 600 in a couple of weeks. Couple of weeks by this time, I think 28th, I have scheduled that.
That's
And I mean, like you would be called, you will be entitled at a title as super randoneer. Once you do 200, you are called a randoneer, and when you do complete 200, 300, 400, as well as 600 in one calendar year, then you are given a title super randoneer. I'm just trying for that. I'm not
That's
sure
awesome.
whether I would be successful or not. Yeah.
We are proud of your 200 itself, Sreekanth.
Great, awesome. All right, we'll move on to the next item then. So we have, like I said, a couple of our guys, Sai Krishna and Govardhan, and they're both really, stars of our program. They keep continuously winning our weekly, Star of the Week awards, and they're really smart and dedicated students. So I will hand it over to them. So guys, Sai Krishna and Govardhan, do you want to say a few words? Do you want to start, Sai Krishna?
Yeah, Sridhar, sir.
Introduce yourself and just let Govardhan also introduce and then start.
Okay, sir. Yeah, first of all, thanks, Rupa. Thank you, Sridhar, sir, for giving me this beautiful opportunity to me. So, hi, Srikant, sir. Very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Sai Krishna. I'm engineering graduate from Nastapet Engineering College, Nastapet, which is located in Andhra Pradesh. So currently, I'm training with bitLabs on full stack development and looking forward my internship with Symphonize and getting placed in my dream job. So I'm privileged with this opportunity to be able to ask a couple of questions. So thank you, sir.
Yep.
Yeah. Looking back at your career, what can you tell us what inspired you in your journey?
In my journey, I cannot tell a single event as a big inspiration. But then, in the sense, first it's my mom who have started school all by herself. And then, yes, there are many incidents, many experiences, many observations, which keep on motivating us and inspiring us. So I'm sorry that I couldn't tell a single event, because it has been a series of events.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Govardhan, do you want to introduce yourself really quickly and then start asking your question?
Hi Sreekanth sir, I am
Yep.
Govardhan and an engineering graduate from GAP College, Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. I am also training with BitLabs with Sai Krishna. I'm really thrilled with this opportunity to ask a couple of questions. One of my question is, Sreekanth sir, sometimes
Yep.
sometimes things does not go as planned. Student often get rejected for jobs for various of reasons. How does one stay positive and motivated?
Yeah, first thing is, see, when you have seen the sports facilities and all, myself also doing a bit of sports, it's something where we learn to take the failure also equally with success. So that's something which I strongly believe, which I advocate to all my staff and students. So there is nothing that you have to, we do celebrate when we win, when we are successful, but then taking the failure also equally and then analyzing ourselves why we fail, and then working on that, rework on that, and innovate while working. See, we may not be able to follow the same pattern, same things that the other successful people might have done. See, world is changing so fast, and we need to constantly change, right? So change is the only constant that we would see in the world. So rest everything changes, right? So I would tell that you need not get demotivated at all. So there's always a chance, there is always a time. So of course, those who prepare early will have that advantage. But even if there is an year or two gap, so even if we fail in a couple of our attempts, so there is nothing that we need to get demotivated. Only thing is we have to work on our failures. We have to deeply look at why we failed and then plan accordingly.
Thank you, Sreekanth sir.
Yeah.
Your voice is very helpful to students. And from the next question, what is the unique activities that are being done in our schools to engage the students through online schooling, and why those activities are important?
Yeah, I guess what the question really, Srikanth, is there are a lot of sports activities that what we saw in the pictures, and it sounds like you guys have not just focusing not just on curriculum but the holistic development of students. I think that's the question. I mean, why is it that you guys focus on holistic development, and why is it important?
Yeah, yes. Thank you, Srikanth sir. Yeah.
It
Uh,
Shrikant, are you there still? No, we can't hear you. Did we lose him, Rupa? Or is he on mute?
I couldn't hear his audio. We lost your audio there for a
My
minute.
audio?
Yeah, we lost
Now
audio.
now
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can hear
Now we
you.
can.
Okay,
Could you
Yes.
please
fine.
Yeah.
repeat your answer?
Yep.
Did you hear the question, Shrikant?
Yes, yes, I heard your question. I heard
Okay.
your question. So yeah, that's what, see, it's not just the school, it's even the college, anything for that matter, because gone are those days where only particular skill or particularly the academics when it comes to the education would have done, I mean, got you a job, particularly in the government sector, because most of the things went by just looking at your marks and degrees and certificates. See, even in a school, while I select a teacher into my school, not a teacher, even for a non-teaching job. So right now I am looking at their communication skills. I am looking at their personality and other things, not just the degree. In fact, degree I just look at it only at the end of after they are selected, just for the sake of the government, because we have to have certain norms and certain qualifications. And I do have many of my, I mean, I have many BTech people working with us. In fact, I really don't take many of them, particularly those who are from our region, because they are lacking certain skills. But then there are some BTech graduates who worked with a couple of like software companies or other things, and who got I mean, like they changed their path and they are into education now. And these are the youngsters who are actually training my senior most teachers as well. There are many NGOs, I mean, like Wipro for Thought or Teach for India, many organizations. So what I want to tell you is that it's not just one thing that we would be requiring to learn for us to be successful in life. So particularly in the coming future. So right now, in the last decade, things have changed a lot, and with this pandemic, so the education, learning, the teaching, training, and even working has completely changed. And yes, this would stay on. We can't say that yes, the pandemic would end in a year or two. Even when it ends, I mean, God willing, it should end as soon as possible. But then, even if it ends, the way that we are seeing the life today would go on. I mean, there has been a lot of sea change in the last couple of years. I mean, 1.5 years after the COVID, and we will see that in every aspect of life. And coming back to why we do this holistic development, I mean, it's not just after the COVID, even before that. I mean, essentially, it's like, because I strongly believe, being I myself have had my schooling in one of the schools in Vijayanagaram Sainik School, Korkonda, which used to be one of its kind in the state. Even now, it's there. So, in a 200-acre campus where we are taught a lot of sports, and sports is something where you learn everything, the team, the collaboration. So lot of things, lot of discipline, every aspect that you should have. Academics teach only one part of that. And yes, school, engineering, college, anything, most in our society, all through these years, even today, in most of the schools and colleges, even today, unfortunately, we just focus on exams, we just focus on the results. So this is something which has actually uh, not helping the child, not helping the student once they are graduated. So we thought that we have to break that scenario, and that we have to help the child right from their childhood to understand. And if you would have seen, yes, we do have, of course, through this Byju's and White Hat Junior, they are coming up with this coding and all right from for the kids after this COVID. But even before, we have this robotics, we have this 3D printer and all in our schools. So you would have seen a couple of bytes even in the video. So that is because we have to ensure that the child is thinking beyond the textbooks. So I particularly got this, Sridhar, when in my graduation at South Florida, I worked as a teaching assistant, and I
Yes.
was teaching. I was a teaching assistant for this basic subject, circuit network theory, which most of
Mm,
you, if you are into electronics or electrical engineering, you would have studied in your year one or year two. And I had there are many questions which we never thought about them. The basic thing, the basic Kirchhoff's laws, Ohm's laws. While I was teaching, the kind of questions that the students used to pose, I had to be witty enough to tell them, okay, yeah, that's a wonderful question. So I would like you guys to think about that and come up with an answer tomorrow. And if you are unable to solve that, I would come back and solve. And I used to run to my office and then search for the answer, because I never knew the answer, because I never thought why this question. So that
yeah,
why,
yeah.
what, and how is something which is missing in our schools and colleges. That's
I think
something
it's a
we should appreciate in their system. In the US, I don't know
yes.
where it came from, their schooling or from the college, but
Yeah.
there, there are all logical questions
Mm,
they used to pose. So that is something which we are trying to enrich even in our schools. That is something which I would suggest and advise all the young graduates in this meeting. Uh,
mm,
try try to think beyond your textbooks. Try to work
mm.
out of the box.
Mm. I think that's a great point. Asking the why and critically thinking about why is this the way it is explained this way, or why isn't the other way, and because there is a lot of learning hidden in that. I think you will all do yourself a great favor if you just don't take things on the face of it, but instead ask questions. And this is something we highly encourage in the program. Also, to ask questions to understand the why behind any concept that you learn. Great piece of advice there, Shrikant. Who's got the next question, guys?
Sai Krishna, you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry for that. Yeah, thank you so much, Srikanth sir. Actually, there is one more question from my side. So, any parting thoughts for our students about this attending this talk?
I think there were maybe a few more questions, guys. Like I thought we had. I don't know who had those
Yeah, in
questions.
fact, he asked about what I think we have clubbed a couple of the questions in my
Oh,
Yeah.
thing.
got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we did that. So, Shrikant, I'm really quite intrigued by you do cycling, you do so many other activities along with your core focus of NextGen and Kennedy schools. How do you manage your time? All of us have 24 hours.
Yes.
Unless God's given you.
Actually, just before starting, you were talking about the time management session. I when and Sridhar told that, oh, I would have loved to join, and even I would have joined if I would have known that. So that has become a big pain sticking at this moment. But yes, we have to plan. We have to schedule accordingly. So I do cycle 5 days in a week and spend 1.5 hours on an average. And then I didn't tell you, Sridhar, actually I have even started doing my LLB law course. I just joined, and next week I have my
Wow.
semester exams. So that that last year, because I was going through a couple of court cases on the education and all, and then I suddenly developed some interest, and I thought because there is some technical lingo which I was comfortable with, so I thought I would study that. So it's something when you have that will, and when you know that these are the works that are to be there, so we have to plan. So I know that I have my exams next week, so I would plan my timing accordingly. All my meetings and all would be scheduled accordingly. So it needs to change. But then, yes, as students at this moment, their time management, I would say that it should be much more easier unless they start working. So I would suggest them, I mean, it could be a regular time management for them, because for us, when we are being an entrepreneur, we have certain things which comes in between. So there could be many emergencies for us every day. I mean, that talking with the staff, and there would be a parent walking in all of a sudden, probably because they had some issue that they wanted to get resolved and all. So for the students, I would say, yes, spend time. You have to build your 16 hours or 18 hours out after your sleeping time. So make it into bits and pieces, and spend what you're working for your basic college, basic exams, and then for the for landing into the work, and then for collaboration and rest of things, whatever you're interested, whether it is reading or cycling or any of your hobbies. But you have to maintain a strict schedule for you, and you have to ensure that you are following that. That's more important. See, attending a time management session, or reading through the time management, writing something on your book and your daily scheduling is very easy. But then implementing it is the real challenge. So once you make it a habit, then that's where you would definitely be successful.
Thank you so much, Sreekanth. Even our previous speaker had spoken about having a purpose in life, and Sridhar Tirmala also. I mean, even Tathavarthi also. They hardly sleep. They have so much. They get so much done in a day. And Tirmala also mentions that create 15-minute windows where you're being productive every 15 minutes. So break
Yes.
it down
Yes.
into small
Yes.
bits.
That's
So
a brilliant point right there. Looking only, don't look, for don't look for a 1 hour block for you to accomplish something. Something. Don't look for a 2 hour window to accomplish something. If you have 15 minutes, just think about what you can achieve productively in the next 15 minutes. Can I finish? Can I finish a task, whatever that task may be? It maybe is. Something that you're working on the BitLabs program, or maybe something you're doing for your friends, something that you're doing for your family, or something that you for yourself. Um, think about. I like what Sreekanth said. Think about dividing your time and thinking about smaller chunks of time. Instead of looking for okay, I'll do this when I get 4 hours of time free, free time available. You're never going to get that. So that's a great point right there, Sreekanth.
thank you, Sreekanth.
Yeah, Srikanth, sir?
Thanks. And I do
Yeah.
have one question,
Yeah,
Srikanth.
please.
So, I mean, I know we are seeing this technology changing life, right? It's going at a lightning fast. I mean, there's a lot of pros about it, but same, it also bringing in a lot of adversities, with the focus, and and with people getting distracted with the social media, and right, all these things, right? So especially in your students who are near the higher education, around in those group, uh, how do you guys address these challenges, like and, like, not to get distracted too much with this, and stay focused and use it for a better purpose, like do you
With
do
too
you
much of
guys
social media and
contact
stuff.
Yes.
right,
So
too much of social media
we
and too much of video watching?
yeah. So it's like we use the same technology. I mean, see, we have a lot of, fortunately, we now have a lot of education apps that integrates and blends the gaming, the things that the students are really interested. See, instead of playing something, some shooting, some kind of, whether it's PUBG or something like that. So we have this, I mean, something called, I think our students, we use some Kahoot, where it's gamified things on
Gamified
mathematics, on
learning.
science or something, right?
Okay.
So there is this quizzing option. There is, in fact, it is something by done by two of our Indian graduates from Bangalore, Ankit and I think Deepak or someone. They have their office even in, I think, Sacramento there in US. No, it's very popular, quizzes. So we have
Yes.
been using that platform also for our children. Apart from, there are many other things, the reading apps and also, we are not asking them to move away from the social media or something because it doesn't happen. But when they use the device, so along with their Instagram and all, so we also ensure that, okay, you do something, you get more points and then post on your Insta. So something that would motivate the others also. If I ask them not to use the Insta, it's not going to work out, right? And at the same time, so it has been a challenge for us also to ensure that the children, because they are very quick enough. So the teachers, including myself, we feel that we are kind of little outdated, in the sense we are constantly working on upgrading ourselves to reach to the level of the students. When I say this, because just last week we had our formative assessments conducted online, so we have to ensure that the students are not resorting to any malpractice. And for them, I straight away throw a challenge to them. Okay, you try, because we also should know how it's going to happen, right? And we have devised our own ways to ensure that it's not happening. So the first thing is we teach them why they shouldn't resort to malpractice. At the same time, second thing, we also throw them a challenge. You try, and then we try to break that. So that's how it's like they're doing the innovation. So how to form the groups, how we ask them to put the camera, another camera there and here and all, but then we ensure that the answers are not shared. Still, the students innovate, and we come to know that, and we innovate our own ways. So it's a constant engaging and learning, and it's doing good. So why I'm telling about this assessment part is that because the child has to ensure that they are doing well, or that they are able to outwit the teacher, they are innovating something. That's good. I would say that, I wouldn't say that it's wrong. See, thinking about malpractice is wrong, but in the way, I mean, like innovating a particular method is something which is creating. So they think beyond their social media when they have this challenge in front of them. They think beyond this social media. See, one thing is we cannot just teach the discipline or the good thing. So they have to be engaged, and it should come through themselves. So we constantly devise our own projects and works and all to the students that we give them, so that they would be interested, and that they wouldn't be having time or interest in the things that are wasting. But we tell them, yes, they have to be on social media. I mean, not the students. I mean, the grade 9 and upwards. We tell of course, though even now the primary students are also having their Facebook or Insta. Nowadays, it's all Insta. So my age group, we are more on Facebook and we are less on Insta. And then, so, but the youngsters, they are more, I guess, most of the audience here are also on Insta more than the Facebook nowadays. So we have to know, and Snapchat and other things. I mean, it depends on the region, right? So we have to find out something where we will not say that this is something bad, but we have to plan such that the child themselves realizes how much it is wasting their time, and how better they can use it productively for the betterment of their own lives and future.
I like the your point about gamification and making
Yep.
it more attractive for anyone to
Yes.
use and get engaging experiences there. That's pretty awesome. Great. That's something we also do, by the way, guys. In our learners know this. When you use our system, you get points, you get badges, you get we announce winners every week. All that is part of gamifying the learning experience for you all. So you are free to take those and post them in your social media, to to get more traction and use social media that way as well. Yeah, so great point there, Srikanth.
Yep.
Okay. Srikanth sir,
Yep.
during this pandemic situation, our generation has moved total into the online education. Due to this, certain aspects of external interactions are missed, like social behavior with colleagues and other faculties. In case this situation continues, what is the future goes to look like for the students, and how is this goes to affect behavior of the new generation?
That's a very, question that we are also trying to find a proper solution, and we are, in fact, little afraid about what would happen. So we all have to work out on how we ensure that the collaboration happens. So see, in our school, in a regular thing, that's the reason we always have live sessions, not the recorded sessions and all. So basically, because the students would see one another, and then there are these breakout rooms. I mean, in Zoom and all, we use the breakout rooms, and then this gamification, the apps and all. And still, wherever there is a possibility, we ask them to work online. See, tomorrow we have this our 75th Independence Day. So we have asked the students to make. I mean, like one is standing with the I, the other is standing with N. They have sent their photos, and the third guy has done like clubbed all the things. So they have made a picture video of the Independence Day. So this is a simple collaboration activity that is done by grade 3 students, right? So in the future, yes, we have to come out. So we cannot stay indoors all the time. So we have to come out, and that's the reason I always focus on the extracurricular activities, particularly the sports, because that is where you actually develop your team building thing and your collaboration skills. So in the future, yes, I guess there will be much more new things that might be coming, which we are not aware at this moment. So which will solve some of this problem. But for us, we have to ensure that at least whether it is online or offline, so that we need to keep talking with our friends, with our neighbors, relatives. We can't always rely on. I mean, like I would always say that if the movie theater opens and if it is safe to go watch a movie there instead of watching it on your Netflix or something. Not once in a while, because you also get to meet people. That is very, very important. And when you have to work with a team in the future, and I guess there are many videos coming on WhatsApp and all, and like what happens after a couple of years after working from home. So there are many comic things that are done, which could be partly true. But once we know that this might happen, we have to plan our ways and means that we would not be stuck in that kind of situation.
Mhm. Yeah, this is a great point because I especially Rupa is a great champion of this. We always have daily mentoring sessions, and when people come join those mentoring sessions, we ask them to turn their cameras on so we can see them,
Yes.
so we can
Yep.
interact with them. Because unfortunately, with this pandemic issue we have right here, it's just impossible to do physical interaction the way it used to be. So that's a great point there, Srikanth. Excellent.
Yep.
Okay, Drupa, you got more?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
students? Sorry,
Something
let me
else.
ask Govardhan and Sai Krishna. You
Yeah.
guys have more of those questions we talked about?
Gordon, Sai Krishna, any other questions you want to ask Srikant?
Yeah,
Yeah, ma'am.
Sure, go
yeah,
ahead.
Govardhan, you can.
Gordon, try to put on your camera, please.
Is it okay?
Awesome. Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Are there any book recommended to the students to read preparing for success?
Uh, I would, one of my favorite books is about the habits, the same Stephen or Covey's. And I used to read a lot of fiction in my schooling days, but of late, I am only going through the books on educational leadership. And yes, this habits is something, breaking the habits as well as forming the new habits. I think these are a couple of new things. I mean, instead of books, you also have a lot of articles nowadays. Because of the time or something, I am not able to read many books. But then, yes, bits and pieces of the articles of the extracts from the books and all is something which we can read. But since we have talked about this time management and habits. Yes, I would love to say that this is something which I would recommend to all the students. The Stephen Covey's 7 Habits for Successful, Highly Successful People. And there are, there are other versions of his books. One is there for the teens, and one is there for the kids. Even his son has authored one book for the exclusively for kids. So you can go through something about the teens books and the young adults books that are related to the 7 habits. There will be slight changes.
Mm. That's
Okay,
a
Srikanth
great
And I
sir,
would
definitely we
also,
are.
yeah,
That's a great
yeah, go ahead.
suggestion there. The 7 Habits for Highly Successful People is a very, very popular book, guys. Everybody on the
Yep.
call from our students, that is a
Yes.
very popular book, and a lot of successful people mention this. This book does not go unmentioned by any other successful person. This is a book that you all should pick up, whether you go to a library or whether you go borrow it from a friend or you buy it online. You pick it up and start reading. It's a very engaging and a fun book to read, and it's very helpful also, like Shrikant mentioned. So we should make this like a recommended reading in BitLabs, I suppose. But
Yes. Yes, Sridhar. Madhurima, our soft skill consultant who's done this time management session, she is coming up with a series where she reads books. So she's going to give us snippets through the month, Sridhar. So we'll also be
that's excellent.
encouraged to read more.
That's excellent.
Thanks, Shrikant, for that
Yep.
suggestion. Definitely a great book, and I would also recommend to Govardhan that this is a book for life and not only success. And like what Shrikant was saying, that it's all coming back to have a purpose in life, and your time expands, so you're able to do so much more. That's awesome, Shrikant.
Yep.
Yeah, Rupa,
Yeah,
we have followed that.
Great.
yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Srikanth sir. And I want to know that the thing makes you most proud in your career and why, sir?
In my career, there's nothing that, again, it's a series of events, and yes, there would be certain instances where you have that sense of pride. Yes, like when a senior person in education comes and watches the curriculum, sees through our campus and the curriculum, and meets our staff and students and applaud that, yeah, this is something that is really required for the future, and you're doing a wonderful job. That's the satisfaction. And or else an alumni, an old student coming after being successful in life and telling, yes, I learned something on that day, you told me this, and this is something. And we would have told it in a regular sense, but we don't know what it sparks, when it sparks. And so there are those moments where we have a lot of satisfaction. I would not say that it is being proud, but the satisfaction when you have this, when we are talking about the purpose of life, and we do some things that are really satisfying for us, and it doesn't always be measurable. It doesn't really mean that it's only some quantifying things, but it's the sense of happiness that is really required, and there are many moments of that. So I may not be that successful in terms of building schools. I mean, there are many others who have built more bigger schools, more faster and all. But at the same time, even when such people come and appreciate the good work that we are doing, yes, that's the satisfaction.
Yeah. I like
Shrikant,
the
you
point
could,
you mentioned about the farmer students. What I'm
Yes.
hoping really is that these bunch of students that we have right now will come back to us eventually and tell us about the successful career they've had in a few years. So I'm really hoping for
Great.
that. Everybody, Sai Krishna and Govardhan Rao, I'm really hoping, and everybody else, and really hoping that you guys take advantage of the program you're in and go to great heights and come back and tell us that you've done some great work.
Shrikant,
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
mention about your mom in the beginning. Did she start
Hmm.
a school? Could you please
Yes.
elaborate for me?
Yeah, she started the school in my nursery in 1981. She's still taking care of my state board school with the name Kennedy. So NextGen is something that I started after I returned from US and then joined along with mom. So
Awesome.
she also takes care, and yes, of course, my dad, who is also an engineer, a 5-year graduate that time in 1965, and all he has done is engineering from Manipal. He worked with the government, and then he also helped mom. So yes, something that's the kind of motivating factor when we see. A few years back, I was every day because it's becoming late. When we at the beginning of the meeting, you were talking about our young friends joining the meeting late, the two after Friday night. So this is something when we talk about the time management. Something I mean, my personal experience as well. A few years back, I used to, I mean, due to work and all. So once I come back home, there used to be a lot of work I wanted to do, and so I used to stay awake through till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. And obviously, I used to get up again like 7, 8. And the whole my curriculum was like that. I mean, my schedule was like that. And slowly I changed. And thanks to this COVID, actually after the COVID, I completely changed. Now I'm waking up too early, before 5, 4:30 and all, and then going for cycling, and then of course the meditation or the yoga, and even the I think then you missed my yoga pics or something. I don't know if
Yeah,
I
I
don't put
must have missed
most of
the
my
yoga.
things on FB, so I don't. Yeah, I've done my 108 sets of Surya Namaskar on the recent International Yoga Day also on 21st June.
Oh
So
wow.
Oh,
so that's it. I mean, just it's not about that we being able to do something. Yes, when I do cycling, I put some this Strava app and all. It's just to give us our own motivation, self motivation, and then that satisfaction. So when we reach a goal, so we need to have a goal in our life, right? So when we have that and when we reach that, so yes, we have that satisfaction. So it's that self motivation and self accomplishment. So we need not compete with others. So
yes.
when we do something always, so everyone has a chance. See, the sun rises and sun shines equally for every one of us. So it's
Yeah,
how good we utilize the energies, how well we utilize the sunshine depends on our own self. So
yeah,
that planning, and then so I would always suggest, though we have been hearing. I mean, like early to bed and early to rise, right from our childhood, uh, right? So still we don't really follow that, but once it is followed, it is definitely good. But still,
mhm,
due to work and all, due to meetings and late evening networking dinners and all, still we do have that. But at least as a student, you have the time, all the time in your hands. I would very strongly tell all my students that you may not have the same opportunity and same pleasure when you are into work, because
yeah,
we are missing that. So most of the time, my time is not in my hands. Many times I have to skip certain plans that I have done. So,
mm,
but as students, you have all the time. You can very well schedule yourselves, and you can very well happily implement that and become successful.
yeah. I think that's a great point. If somebody like Srikanth can, manage two schools, a large number of employees, even larger number of students, and then also do cycling and doing Surya Namaskaras and waking up at 5 in the morning and doing yoga and doing meditation. If he can like manage all of those, I'm sure our students can just like you said, they have a lot of time at the on their hands. It's just about going to college and working on their priorities. So if you have your priorities straight, guys, if you have your priorities straight, you can definitely manage that time and be successful. Excellent.
Yeah,
And
one
yes,
more
Sri.
thing there, right? It's not only extra activity or curricular. This adds back to your goals, because this all will help everybody, right? I think how we added back to your career, the meditation, the cycling and everything. These they compensate really well. Um, and I'm really, I have one more question here, Sreekanth. It's a brilliant talk,
Yeah.
by the way. So
Yeah.
I have my 8-year-old sitting next to me and listening to this all along, and he
Okay.
really liked this talk, and he wanted to ask a question. He's
Yeah. Go ahead.
he have a question for you.
My name is Bihan. I am a fourth grader, and I really like yours. So, What made you go to India and inspire you to build the school?
I didn't get you. Can you repeat that? What made you?
What made you go to India and build the school?
So
Oh,
he really
what
liked
made
your
me go
school.
back to India? Yeah, got it, got it. So,
Yeah.
do you have you been to India?
Yes,
How many times?
two.
2 times. Okay. So that's great. So, did you like? Did you like being with your mom's relatives, your dad's relatives, your grandparents, and all?
Yes.
Yeah. So fortunately for me, since I have been in India before my graduation in US, since I have a lot of friends, family, and the school, the institute to take care. And so I mean, like I planned my return, though everyone told that, yeah, everyone will tell the same thing before going to US. But once you see the dollars and see the exchange value, you would not return. But then for me, I mean, like I had the opportunity because there's already an institute that's run by my mom, so where I can start working on the new innovations and then take it to the next level. I had that base, so on which I built upon, and I really like and that, and I enjoy being here because you have certain advantage. I don't know. I mean, like since you are too young to understand, we have certain advantages here being in India. So we have a lot of people who would like to be with you. Not just the friends, your colleagues, your employees, your parents. I like what I am doing. So this is something. Right now I have more than 300 employees and more than 3,000 students. I mean 3,000 families. So
Wow.
that's the satisfaction that you get. Yeah, probably I may not be earning as much as your dad or as your other Sridhar uncle, but then in many ways I feel much more privileged than those people in US, all my friends in US.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. You should do what you're really passionate about. And I think Srikanth has always been passionate about being entrepreneurial, being very innovative, working with students is something that he really was, always excelling, and he's always passionate about those things. So I think the answer, maybe if I can paraphrase, is really find your passion, okay,
Yes,
and do whatever you can to fulfill that passion.
right.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Excellent.
much for the
All the
That
question.
best.
was
God
such a
bless.
cute question. I loved that.
Yeah,
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 straight from the heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
yes. So I mean, like I get this question from many adults, and it's very good. That too from a kid staying there in US.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a very, very keen observation. Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, guys, do you have any last question?
Yeah, yes, yes, sir, I have.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you for your answer, Srikanth sir. And any tips or advice you can share with the engineering students?
Any parting advice?
Yeah, engineering students. Yes. unfortunately, as you, I mean, like as the introduction video also has shown, so just the theory is not going to help us, right? So you need to have that work experience. At the same time, you need to work on those skills, enhancing those skills, which would land you in the workplace immediately, right? And yes, management of time, and then just Sridhar also gave his thought, like finding the purpose of life, and then having a passion, and then working towards that passion. So because that, once you fulfill your passion, you get a sense of satisfaction, which would really motivate you to do much more. Then you find a new place, right? So all the best, everyone. I hope this brief interaction with you all could be of a little help to you in your future. All the very best for your success in your future.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
thank you.
Sri.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
I really, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
May I know
Yeah.
which
So
other engineering colleges or the students are from? I could see only Sai Krishna from Nasropet, and then Govardhan from Gayatri.
yeah, I don't know if we have the slide with all the colleges here, but there are like even there are a
I
lot.
have that, Sridhar.
You do? Okay, good.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
struggling right now to find that.
And I have that. While it's coming up, I just wanted to thank Srikanth. And there's so much of insight that you've given us today. You're part of the 5 a.m. club. You're having a purpose in life. You are grateful for what you have in terms of your mom, what your dad and mom have set up. You've built on that, and there are so many things that you do. So you have a schedule. You execute it, and sometimes you go off that schedule, and that's beautiful that you're saying that you just get on it again. So it's not that you give up. So that's very important for us to also pick up. So okay, Sridhar, you have this on.
Yeah, yeah, I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Cool. Over to you, Sridhar. Thank you,
Yeah,
Srikanth.
yeah, thank you so much, Srikant. This has been a very great interaction for all the students. I'm sure that's very helpful. And we'll post this on YouTube for everybody else that missed this session. And again, once again, thank you, Srikant.
Yep.
All
Thank you.
right, we'll close
um,
this. Thank you so much, everybody.
Sridhar, you also want to tell Srikanth that we will be signing up with your college.
It's the
Oh,
school.
but the
So
Bapatla
yep.
Engineering College. Oh, okay, okay. We're
Okay.
doing.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
we're talking to
The
Bapatla
Bapatla.
Engineering College and trying to
Great.
get them on this list. that's
Okay.
that's what we're trying to do. So we're trying to get them to sign an MOU to get them on. We have an MOU with Lingayas, and we're trying to get an MOU with Bapatla, and we're trying to get an MOUs with more colleges so we can do what we are really,
Yeah.
um, trying to impart change in the lives of many engineering students.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's
and I
really
would like to
inspiring.
uh, advise all our young students here not to, I mean, to always give the needed value to your family and friends. And because of these online sessions, and because that was one of the questions, yes, people are becoming so isolated these days. They're
Yeah.
watching everything only on their mobile and all the things. So that group is something, the family and friends is something which would really be helpful to you all through your life. So you need to have few very good friends, and of course family would always be there to be there with you. If any of us are successful, I'm sure there are many friends through our journey, and of course the family, right? So if I tell that I have been to cycling this morning, yes, I have my wife and son accompanying me, and that's how and of course, all through the way, there are a number of cyclist friends whom I made in the last few months, who we just wave each other and all. Because of this COVID thing, we are also not having, because tomorrow also we have a 75-kilometer ride for the 75th Independence Day. But but at the end of the day, that's what. So one thing is we need to get that satisfaction. The other point is that you need to also ensure that you are giving that time and value to your friends and family, right?
Yeah, good point. Good
So
point.
yeah, if I'm able to successfully manage my, I mean, right now it's 5 schools, Sridhar, not 2 schools. One, I have my Ongol school, a 12-acre boarding school as well, where we have this horse riding, swimming, rock climbing, all these activities. And the one that you have shown the video is from Guntur campus. So I have my wife, Dr. Srividya. See, again, that's how she is one fine example where she has done a dentistry, but then since she has been married to a educationist, she also, though while she is practicing, finding time and practicing her dental clinic in the evening, but most of the time she is also has found the passion. Initially, yes, it has been a sharing kind of thing with me, but now in certain areas she has been more passionate than me in terms of innovating things, the assessments part, or teaching the teachers, all these things. So we need to constantly change. We need to,
Yeah.
I mean, like, since you have done something in your electrical engineering or even IT or computer science and all, it doesn't mean that you have to always think that, oh, I have done my IT engineering, so I should land up in a job or in a place where that is related to IT. Yeah, just forget about that theory part. So find your passion. I always feel that something lacking, because we never had these kind of career counseling sessions or people as organizations helping us through building our career. I don't know, Sridhar, when you heard about this GRE TOEFL, but it's my final year that I heard about these things. I
Same.
don't think you also, yeah, most of us, because see, guys, most of you know about the universities and about the TOEFL, GREs, all these IELTS or something right now, even in your first year of engineering. And we in Bapatla, myself, Sridhar, we heard about them in our final year. So, and there's no not much of sessions, and leave the engineering itself. I always feel that, why did I do engineering? That somehow I always felt that, because it is, I'm not utilizing the 6 years of engineering study for like BTech 4 years and 2 years in US. I always feel that I would have studied architecture or something, auditing, or even the law, so that it would have been of much more help to me. But still, yes, that is something where you didn't get an opportunity, where you didn't get the right kind of advice. But now is the time where you can, when you feel that there is something that can help you in the long run, or that can be of more satisfying, yes, you can pursue that. And that's how I landed in now started like
Law.
studying the law also,
Yeah,
right?
I
So
figured.
yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
So
That's
that's
pretty.
it, students. So you have that advantage. So utilize the tools that you have, which we in the yesterday years don't have. So
Yeah.
you can always take the assistance from good organizations like these people, the BitLabs, or any other such thing. I mean, more and more people, I would actually thank and appreciate the people behind the BitLab, because these are something which are really required for the students now. It's not as a company. Anyone who is trying to help the getting, because every child, every BTech student, they feel that, yeah, yes, we have done BTech, we need a job, immediate job. Yes, I should get some that package and this package, which we are seeing or hearing from our neighbors or seeing in the newspaper. Same thing, even in schools, people come, they tell, we have done our post graduation MSc, we have done our B.Ed, we have done our M.Ed. So they come with their B.Ed degree and they tell, we have done our B.Ed, so we should get some 20,000. So you don't have. So I send them to a demo class, and then I tell them the places where they have all those lapses, and places where they have to improve a lot. So these things are more important. See, the practical thing is something which is really required. The theoretical is just the beginning, right? So
Yes.
build on
Yes.
your
That's a great point.
implementation, your practical knowledge, enhancing your communication and collaboration skills.
Yeah.
That would definitely ensure that you are successful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Sreekanth, for recommending bitLabs. And definitely Sridhar Tirumala, Sridhar Tatorti, and Ashok Cherukuri, a big hats off to them for starting off bitLabs. It's been a year and a few months, and we've been successful already. We have 100 plus students. And they started off with their existing companies already. It's a service that they are giving to the engineers, and we are privileged to be part of the team. Thank you, Sreekanth.
Great. Good luck, everyone.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Sreekanth. We'll talk later. Thanks, guys.